You don't lack time. You lack courage to choose. Everyone says the same thing. I don't have time, but you had time to scroll, time to watch, time to complain, time to delay. The truth, though, you're not busy. You're avoiding is because regret feels far away. But one day, regret won't be far. It will be permanent. You don't lack time, you lack courage. Every single human being has the same 24 hours. Every week, every month, every year. The difference is never the clock. It's the choices you make. You say, I'm busy. You say, there's too much going on. You've repeated it 1,000 times. You've justified your inertia with it, and yet somehow you had time to scroll. Time to watch videos that didn't teach you anything. Time to check messages immediately, to react to distractions. Time to sit in comfort and convince yourself it's rest. This is the first lie you tell yourself, that being busy is equivalent to being productive, but it's not. Busyness is often a mask. It is comfort disguised as action. It is avoidance dressed up in urgency. It allows you to feel important even while your future silently erodes. You are not overwhelmed. You are avoiding the hard work, avoiding the conversations that might expose your weaknesses. Avoiding the books you should be reading, avoiding the skills that would prove you're still a beginner, avoiding the uncomfortable mirror of your own limitations. The easiest way to avoid something difficult is to fill your day with something easy. 100 minor tasks, errands, notifications, scrolling sessions. They feel productive in the moment, but they change nothing. You convince yourself you are busy and the world nods along. Society rewards exhaustion, but exhaustion is not the same as growth. Look at your last week. Naughty. Hours spent on growth, hours spent on maintenance, hours spent on maintenance, hours spent on pure distraction. Your calendar, your watch history, your notifications, they tell the truth your mouth avoids. And here is the uncomfortable part. It's all voluntary. You chose comfort over action, moment by moment. Just this once, every delay, every rationalized break compounds. If something truly mattered to you, it would survive fatigue. It would be protected. Nobody forgets to eat. Nobody forgets to check their phone. Nobody forgets the things they truly value. And yet somehow your goals vanish into postponement. The gym session never happens. The skill building project never begins. The self-discipline you claim matters never manifests. The problem is not time. The problem is honesty. You are afraid of discomfort. Growth threatens your comfort zone. And the lie you tell yourself is easier to swallow than facing the truth. That discipline is hard because fear is present. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. You negotiate, you rationalize, you postpone. Later becomes never, and the human mind is remarkable at justifying delayed action until it feels entirely reasonable. It whispers, you deserve this break. You'll have more energy later. But energy without direction changes nothing. Small delays feel harmless in isolation, but collectively they build a mediocre life. You are not failing overnight. You are failing through repeated micro-decisions. Every scroll, every skipped workout, every postponed plan, every excuse accepted. And when you finally wake up to the result, years later, you will call it bad luck. But it was not luck. It was choice. Every single day, your life is a reflection of how you spent your hours, not what you intended. Intention doesn't create reality. Action does. You may tell yourself that health matters. You may claim success matters, but if they don't survive the stress of daily life, if they don't claim time when you are tired, they are illusions. Words, not reality. Every hour you waste is a vote against the life you say you want. Every time you surrender to comfort, you reinforce your avoidance. Notifications become your commanders. Messages dictate your schedule. Your own desires are pushed aside for momentary pleasure. At the end of the day, you are exhausted, but unchanged. The moment of clarity comes quietly, not with shouting, not with fireworks, but in the uncomfortable silence of self-reflection. You may scroll, you may procrastinate, you may hide behind busyness, but deep down, you know the truth. You always had time to move forward. You just chose comfort. You chose avoidance. You chose to protect the easy over the meaningful. Every small delay is a vote for mediocrity. Every choice to comfort instead of challenge compounds. Silently, you may never notice it in the moment. You may never feel the erosion until it becomes undeniable. But it is there, waiting, quietly, patiently. Discipline feels hard because it forces you to face yourself, and regret feels far because it hasn't yet arrived. but it will one day. Your choices will catch up to comfort you. Cherished will vanish, the excuses will run out, and the mirror you avoided will finally stare back. You don't lack hours, you lack elimination. You haven't cut away what doesn't serve you. You haven't defended what truly matters. Your life is cluttered with meaningless busy you. And clarity is ruthless. It requires confronting the truth you have been avoiding. Ask yourself this: every hour is a vote. What are you voting for today? Comfort or the life you claim to want? Silence. Think about it. Look at your calendar, look at your week, look at the hours you give to every task, every distraction, every trivial pursuit. What survives tells the truth about what you worship, not what you say matters, not what you intend. Action, choices. Every minute you defend reveals your real priorities. You say your health matters, your career matters, your growth matters. But when stress hits, when fatigue sets in, when distraction calls, what survives? A message, a scroll, a video that leaves you entertained but unchanged. That is what you truly worship. Your schedule is a mirror. Not the shiny, polished version you want to see, the raw, unfiltered reflection. And the reflection is merciless. It exposes the small compromises, the daily surrender to comfort disguised as necessity. You don't skip a notification. You don't postpone entertainment. You don't negotiate checking a message. But your most important tasks, suddenly they are negotiated. Suddenly you are too tired or too busy or not in the mood. Every unprotected hour is a vote. Every compromised commitment is a statement about who and what you truly value. And the sad truth, most people never notice. They float through days and weeks convinced they are making progress when all they are doing is reinforcing the comfort they worship and postponing the life they desire. Look closer. The emails you respond to immediately, the meetings you attend that could have been skipped, the notifications you obey without question, these occupy more space in your life than your future ever does. And yet somehow, you still convince yourself you're doing enough, that you're moving forward. That time is the issue. It is not time. Time is abundant. 24 hours. Every human receives the same. The scarcity isn't in hours. It is in ruthless clarity, in courage, in the decision to eliminate distractions and defend what truly matters. You protect what you value. That's it. If something truly matters to you, it is non-negotiable. You will defend it even when you are tired, even when the world does not notice, even when your comfort protests. If it is absent from your schedule, it is absent from your values, plain and simple. And here is the cruel part. Most people live lives that are the sum total of small betrayals to their own priorities. A missed gym session here, a delayed project there, an hour wasted on scrolling instead of skill building. Each tiny act reinforces the wrong life, and collectively over years it compounds into a life you never intended but quietly accepted. Intentions don't matter, words don't matter. Only what survives in action counts. What do you fight for when no one is watching? What do you defend when fatigue hits? What do you do when convenience calls louder than discipline? Those answers are not comforting. They are reality. You may think you are committed. You may think your goals survive the daily grind. Look closer. What you actually protect reveals the truth. And it may not be pretty. The hardest realization is that your life is not mismanaged because of bad luck. It is mismanaged because of what you are willing to protect and what you're willing to let slide. You worship comfort. You worship convenience. You worship the illusion of being busy over the reality of being productive. The next step is ruthless. You must decide. Cut what does not matter. Protect what does not matter. Schedule your hours as if they are sacred, because they are. Every minute spent without clarity is a minute wasted. Every choice to negotiate your priorities is a choice to betray your future self. Discomfort will arrive. Boredom will arrive. Resistance will arrive, and you will feel tempted to retreat to comfort. That is normal. That is predictable. But the discipline will persist. They will protect what matters even when the easier path calls louder, even when the world does not notice, even when fatigue screams to stop. Your schedule is not just hours. It is a statement, a manifesto, a revelation of what you worship, and the mirror does not lie. The question is simple. When the world is quiet, when distractions fade, when no one is watching, what do you defend? What survives in your calendar, in your hours, in your commitments? That is the only truth you can trust. Because one day all the excuses, all the postponements, all the rationalizations will meet you in silence. And that day the life you have built or failed to build will stare back. It will not care about intentions. It will reflect your priorities. Every compromise you allow, every act of avoidance, every failure to protect what matters. That is reality, and it is unforgiving. Distraction is not accidental. It never has been. Every notification, every short video, every ping, every scroll is designed to steal your focus. But here's the part most people refuse to admit. Your engagement is voluntary. Every click, every scroll, every minute wasted is a conscious choice. The problem isn't the apps, it isn't the algorithms. It isn't the algorithms, it isn't the environment, it's you, your identity, the version of yourself you've decided to be, the comfortable, busy, distracted version. The version that believes being occupied is equivalent to being productive, the version that prefers excuses over results. Take a moment, think about the hours you spend avoiding what matters. A small scroll here, a brief notification there, a momentary distraction multiplied thousands of times over weeks, months, and years. That's the silent architect of your mediocrity. Every hour you willingly give away compounds quietly, invisibly, but inevitably. Most people blame the world. They blame social media. They blame other people. But the truth is, distraction only has power when you surrender it. Every time you open an app instead of starting a task, every time you delay, every time you prioritize comfort over challenge, you are choosing. And by choosing, you are voting for the life you will have. Not for the life you want, but for the life you accept. You tell yourself, it's just a break, I'll start soon. But the mind is brilliant at justifying these small permissions. Just this once becomes every day. I deserve it becomes I need it. And before you know it, your focus has been hijacked. Your potential quietly erodes. Your confidence dwindles. Your skill stagnates. Your ambition retreats into the background. Now understand this clearly. The distraction is not your enemy. The enemy is the identity you have allowed to exist without confrontation. You have become someone who accepts convenience over growth, someone who deflects responsibility and convinces themselves that business equals progress, someone who fears facing the discomfort of their own limits. Ask yourself, if you are always distracted, what does that say about you? Not about the world, not about the world, not about time, not about external pressures, about you. About your willingness to choose comfort instead of discipline, about your courage to confront the challenge that growth demands, about the identity you have accepted because it is easier, quieter, safer. And here is the uncomfortable truth. You have enough time. You have enough energy. You have enough potential. What you do not have until you decide is focus, elimination, and ruthless clarity. Every distraction you allow strengthens the version of you who never grows. Every surrendered hour solidifies the identity of mediocrity. Self-control begins with confronting that identity. Admit that your distractions are voluntary. Admit that comfort has a stronger hold than purpose. Admit that the life you are living is in part a reflection of what you have chosen, not what you have chosen, not what you lacked. And once you admit it, you reclaim your power. Once you stop pretending that distraction is stronger than you take back control. Think of your hours as votes. Every choice counts. Every ignored task, every delayed responsibility, every surrendered moment is a vote against your future self, and the accumulation is brutal. By the end of a year, you will not recognize the person you are becoming if you continue surrendering to distractions. Your skills will be weaker. Your confidence diminished, your ambitions unfulfilled, your regret deeper. The hardest part is the internal confrontation, the silence that follows each surrendered choice. You know you could have done better. You know you could have prioritized. You know the scroll was optional, but you chose ease. You chose distraction. You chose the identity of the person who does not act. And here's the liberation and honesty. Once you acknowledge that all of this is a choice, all of it becomes manageable, all of it becomes actionable. You are not a victim of algorithms. You are not a victim of algorithms. You are not powerless against notifications. You are not trapped in the hours of your day. You simply have to decide deliberately, ruthlessly, without negotiation, who you will be. The disciplined are not superhuman. They are decisive. They see every hour, every minute, every second as a tool. Every action is measured against what matters. They eliminate what does not serve their identity. They refuse distraction. They refuse comfort that does not lead to growth. They refuse the easy vote. You have enough time. You've done enough talent. You have enough talent. You've done enough talent. You have enough talent. You've done enough potential. You simply have not decided yet who you are. And until you do, distraction will always have the upper hand. Until you do, comfort will always outweigh courage. Until you do, mediocrity will quietly define your life while you chase the illusion of busyness